You are now tuned into the greatest show on YouTube, the littest channel on YouTube. Welcome, and thank you for joining us with your host, Itis, and It's Real Life. Let's start the show.
Yeah, that joint is hot. Yo, what's good, YouTube fam? Hey, first and foremost, I want to say welcome to the fam, all the new subscribers. We're over 2,000 now. Hey, thank you for the love you're showing, the commentary, the likes, the subscription. Make sure if you're watching now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, show some love. What up, Itis? What you got for the people, man?
Hey man, I'm just excited. They really like us. They like us. They like us.
Hey, look, we're living in a time now to where we are fortunate enough to be able to witness life lessons in real time. We got 3 for you today. 3
Indeed.
life lessons in real time. So we're
You
gonna
know
show.
what? Go ahead. You saying?
I'm just saying we're gonna show one clip, get some commentary, and so on and so forth. And keep it moving. You know what I mean?
I like that. I think we'll call this 3 the hard way. Instead of just being the rudimentary gossip site, we just gonna take some stories from the headlines and just apply some life lessons to it. Show you what you can learn from it, and hopefully not repeat the mistakes that these people in these headlines have made.
Hey, 100%. Look, it's important to pay attention to people, pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to things that's going on, not just in the media, but also in your local community. And if you're smart, you'll learn from these things to better your life. You know what I mean? So with that being said, let's get into this first clip here and see what we can learn from this first situation.
All right.
Let's go.
Woman at the time, her name was Cassie Ventura. It was 2005. She was 19 years old, and she met and became the girlfriend and employee, she alleges, of Sean Diddy Combs of his mega record label. She was a singer herself, but she goes on to say that during this time that she was abused. She was a part of the cycle of violence, physical and sexual abuse. There was uncontrollable rage. Some of the specifics she says that she was raped in her own home when she tried to leave him, that she was often beaten, kicked, punched, stomped on, resulting in bruises and burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. That he blew up a man's car at one point when he thought that man was interested in her, that he introduced her to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol, substance abuse, and required her to produce illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addictions. Now,
Hold on, time out. Hey, we really doing that in real life? We blowing up
Exactly.
cars?
It sounds crazy. This sounds like
Hey,
a mob movie.
Yeah, that's some mafia stuff, man. Jeez. Hey, I didn't think Diddy was gangster Diddy was gangster like that.
Apparently we were wrong.
Jeez.
there are always two sides to every story, and his attorney has released a statement to CNN, which reads, in part, Mr. Combs denies these offenses and outrageous allegations. For the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been subjected to Ms. Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail, baseless and outrageous lies aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and simply seeking a payday.
Interesting.
Interesting doesn't even do it enough justice, because my thing is this: $30 million. First of all, that's what she's asking for. We don't know how much he paid out because he did settle the case, right? Yeah. And from what I've read and what I've seen, they settled for 8 figures. I don't know specifics. All I heard was 8 figures.
8
To
figures.
be accused of that, and then to go ahead and settle. And this is just my opinion. If I'm a man in his position with the resources that he has access to, I'm fighting that tooth and nail if I didn't do it. You know, the only way I see where it's beneficial for him to not fight that is if he either is guilty or she has something else on him that would just tarnish his reputation beyond all repair to the public. So that's kind of iffy for me, man. I don't really know how I feel about that.
Hey, this is wild. So this is what I get from this. In fact, 2 different lessons, right? So let's say hypothetically, or everything that has been alleged is true, right?
Exactly.
Let's say he did abuse her. He did beat her for years. He did get hooked on drugs. He did blow up a car. He is out here hanging rappers off balconies. Let's say all that is true, right? And he's this notorious gangster.
Yeah.
A lesson for Cassie would be, maybe she shouldn't have been chasing that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And the reason why I say that is this, right? There's always red flags. There's always red flags. Even if you don't see them right away, at some point they start to show themselves. But what kept you there? Was it the lifestyle? Was it the Bentleys? Was it the high-rise apartments in New York? Was it the guaranteed fame dealing with that person? What kept you there all that time? Or was it, the threat of him blowing your car up too? I don't know. But let's say that's true, right? That lesson would be, the grass is not always greener. Everything that glitters ain't gold. Be careful who you decide to choose.
And that is a great lesson for any young woman coming up, or anybody, period. Like, everything that glitters ain't gold. But I'll play devil's advocate, and I would propose this scenario. In a lawsuit, they said she was his girlfriend / employee. He had
/ punching bag.
All facets of her life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to empathize with her. And the way I look at it is, okay, you're dealing with a young 19-year-old lady, who you're probably right. She was after the fame and the fortune. And is it really unreasonable for us to believe that she didn't foresee this coming? Because I'm sure he didn't come with a frown on his face. I'm sure he came with smiles and promises to help and guide her career. I mean, let's be honest. It doesn't impress grown men, but he's Diddy, and that carries weight with it. So as much as as dubious as the claims are, I'm trying to empathize with her, because I do believe, not saying that she's right, not saying that she's wrong. I don't know if she's telling the truth or not, but I do believe that she has something on him that will make this man settle for 8 figures out of court. What? I don't know, but something's there. Something's there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, and I'm not even going to give my personal opinion on whether I think she's being honest or not, or whether I feel like it's legitimate. I'm taking the life lesson from this, right? Because in all honesty, we don't know, and we never will know. All this is speculation. So with that, I'll kind of transition to the second lesson in the same video. For any young man who has plans on becoming rich, when you're rich, the statute of limitations no longer exists. Don't you forget that. They could come back 10 years from now, 40 years from now, 50 years from now. Look how they did Cosby. All right? There is no such thing as statute of limitations, and your past will always come back to haunt you. So again, I guess it's the same one. Be careful who you decide to allow in your personal space, in your personal life, who you share your secrets with. Because one wrong move, and it's done.
Indeed. And just to piggyback off that, I do find it very, very convenient that in a lot of these cases, where are the criminal charges? Are the statute of limitations up on those? But And I understand, with a civil case, I guess the burden of proof is not as great as it is with a criminal charge. But if I'm a victim of, the acts that she's claiming she was a victim of, and like I said, this is just me trying to empathize as much as possible. I'm not mad at her for going after the money if it really happened to her. But I want jail time, Like if this is my niece, I'm not gonna fly. I probably want to beat the crap out of him, and I want him to go to jail, So when they just go after and like I said, it's probably because it's less of a burden to prove, but it gives me concern that that's a common theme, with a lot of these cases. It seems like a lot of times there's no criminal charges, but they go for that civil suit. So
yeah, they're gonna get the bag.
Yeah, it just
I don't
unfortunate. It's unfortunate because it casts doubt a lot of times,
I don't blame her. Look, if I was her, I'd be trying to get the bag too. Let me come across Janet Jackson or something. It's gonna be all type of allegations. She gonna we done. She gonna be an abuser. She kept me trapped in the basement. I was her sex slave. Man, whatever I could do to get that.
And it's sad because there are people who will really destroy people's lives like that on a serious tip.
Check for $30 million, bro.
The things people do for money, and it's just unfortunate because it makes it hard for people to believe the real victims because money, that pursuit of money, we know how it goes.
That joint's crazy. So this takes us to our second lesson. Let's play this clip, then we'll get to it.
Player Joe Smith had a grand reaction when he found out his wife, Keisha Chavez, has an OnlyFans account. In a video recorded by Keisha, Joe appears extremely upset with his wife when he found out the news.
I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad I'm just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body, my choice?
I'm your partner, you're supposed to come to me and talk to me.
Joe, I've been talking to you about mad things. I've been asking for solutions. You're not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book.
You knew who I was when you met me.
Before,
yeah,
I knew that.
Thought that I would never have to go back to anything like
I knew
this
that
again.
beforehand,
But
but
unfortunately, that's not the case right now.
After that, everything's supposed to change.
Everything did change.
No. You stood out there showing your body. You stood out there doing stuff like this on camera.
You act like that's the only thing that I do. I have mad jobs, but they're not
real
facilitating everything that needs to be done. So I got something extra. OnlyFans be breaking me off. What the
Come on, Keisha, with that. It don't matter what they breaking you off. It's the disrespect that comes with it.
What disrespect?
You couldn't come and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, we're talking about it now.
Because I had to find out on the fly.
Keisha ends the video by saying she's been doing what she has to do, and that's the bottom line. The two have been reportedly married since 2018.
Oh. My first question, how do you think he found out?
That's a good question. I think they mentioned it in the news, but I honestly don't remember, so I don't want to say, but I think he found out like the rest of us, man. Just
when
he
his
came across.
homeboy was watching it.
Yeah, that's what it was.
His homeboy sent him a screenshot. Ain't that Joe's wife?
Wait a minute. Oh, I recognize them titties anywhere.
Hey, look. Lesson number 2, you cannot turn a 403 into a housewife. This is living proof. Many have tried and many have failed.
And now keep it a little more PG with it. You have to be very careful who you choose as a life partner, mate, wife, husband, whatever you want to call it. It goes both ways. Because from the sound of that, she feels, well, it seems like she expected a certain lifestyle and he failed to provide that. And once that was the case, she lost respect for him. You have to deal with somebody who likes you for you. I understand we all, this is the real world. We have to provide, we have to live a life, and life ain't cheap, but you have to have someone who is down for you. The fact that she went ahead and did what she did and didn't even consult with him, that alone is just that would be it for me. That's grounds for me to just pack my bags and go, because that shows just a complete disregard for my feelings, and honestly, just just overall disrespect, to the union. So
disrespect. And I say it again. You cannot turn a 403 into a housewife.
And
ladies, you cannot turn a 403 into a husband. If he was out there getting his gigolo on with a stable of 15 women and you was 16, that's not going to stop just because he puts a ring on your finger. It goes both ways for both parties. You can't change people and who they are. See them for who they are. If it's fun, enjoy the fun. Have a good time. But understand, that's not something you want in the long term when you're trying to grow old and get stabilized. Making decisions like that just completely disrespects and demeans your relationship. It's one thing to do it in private. It's another thing to put it online for the world to see.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Just to add on to that too, man, like she literally made a conscious decision to pull her phone out when the argument was going on. You know what I'm saying?
She was probably afraid he was going to punch in the mouth.
Yeah, I feel like
she went live, probably.
In situations like that, when, in my opinion, I feel like the woman is being so disrespectful, that seems to be like the de facto, comeback. Hold
on. I ain't gonna front. I do that crap too. If I'm getting into it with a chick, the first thing I do is I pull my phone out, because I know if we ever go to court, they're never gonna believe that this sweet little cute little woman can be a monster. Hey, I play the same game. We sit there and record each other while we talking, looking crazy.
Exactly.
I'm with it, but I need the evidence.
Oh yeah, and I understand that though. But let's be honest, the courts, they tend to side with the woman. If the burden of proof of proving a woman is abusing a man is a lot heavier than a woman proving that a man is abusing her.
You are 100% correct, sir. And that's exactly why I'm very selective with who I deal with in my personal life. I have a lot of friends and a lot of people who knows me outside of my home and my personal real small circle. However, it is small, and it's small like that for a reason. So I try to avoid getting in situations like that.
Drama. And we about to move on from this one, but I just want to touch on something else too. I was reading where they said that Joe Smith made $61 million in his NBA career, and after taxes and paying agents and so forth and other expenses, he took home about $18 million. $18 million. And he currently has about 3,000 in his bank account, according to a couple of sources that I read. I just want to touch on that and say that that's crazy to me. And to her, that she actually got with him when his finances were already in disarray. Like, apparently there's reports coming out that when she got with him, Joe Smith was already broke or quickly heading that direction. It makes you question, we have to be better with our money, people. We have to be better. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's dumb or that he did anything wrong, because that wouldn't be fair to him, for the simple fact that if it was truly that stupid, we wouldn't hear about so many people, especially athletes, going through this predicament.
Bruh, let's call it what it is. He tricked all that money up on a strip club.
Be right.
On a strip club and Pretty Woman. He gave it all away and flushed it down the toilet. I don't feel bad for the brother. He made that decision. He had enough money to pay for consultation, right? Because most of us, we can't afford to go out and pay for accountants and CPAs and to get financial advice. He had access to all of it, but he chose that big booty and that smile, that poison, was much more important than his future was.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for him. I'm sorry. He
It's
had
rough.
an opportunity and threw it away. That's no different from someone winning the lottery today and they're broke 10 years from now. I see it the exact same way. You had the resources to misuse them. You screwed yourself, homie. Now you got what you got. Now your wife out here busting it open with Cameron on camera. I mean, that's the life he chose, brother. I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at her, and I sympathize with him very little. I feel bad for him as a man because it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see a man go through that where he has no control of the situation. He's just helpless. I get it. I sympathize in that sense. But going broke, that's a you problem, homie.
You know, as much as I hate to admit it, you're right. It's just that I'm a little bit more sensitive to the situation because over the years, man, like I've heard so many stories about these athletes and, you know, what they go through between the begging friends or family members and the pressure of having that money when you're young. It's easy for me to sit here and talk that crap as an almost 40-year-old man. But would I have the emotional maturity and, you know, honestly, the financial knowledge to know when to say no?
Who feels bad for you when your money's fucked up? Ain't no athlete speaking up on your behalf.
I'll be honest, nobody.
Exactly.
You're 1,000% right.
There's no sympathy. While we sitting here struggling and we can't find a job, he in the strip club getting topped off by something nice, tricking up his money. They don't feel bad for us. They don't care.
True. It's just unfortunate to see, man. Like we gotta make better choices.
Yeah,
we really do. Because
I'm just a bad guy. I'm sorry.
Nah. You're the real guy. I ain't mad at you. But it's unfortunate, man, because what should have been the spark of generational wealth is now this. Mm-hmm. And I have no problem saying that makes me sad.
Yeah.
It really does. It makes me sad.
I can agree with you there, brother. Well, time for lesson number 3. So we're going to play this clip and get back with this life lesson in real time. What'd you call it, bro? 3 the hard way.
3 the hard way.
Let's show the third one.
I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second. Who was on top?
It wasn't a top. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Murder. It was murder in there.
It was murder in there. Hey, look, be careful of the company you keep. Vet your friends. Don't just let them in. And even then, always keep a watchful eye.
What you say? Don't just let them in. Watch your words.
False. No pun intended. No pun intended. But you have to watch, man. You have people out here that will try to be your friend just to exploit you for whatever you have, right? And that goes on every level. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor or whatever. You have fake people out here. You know, they may like you or be your friend because you get girls or, you know, or because you have access to something that they don't. And they will play that role and play you. And then as soon as you no longer serve a purpose for them, they will go and expose all of your secrets and expose everything that you trusted them not to tell. See, I feel bad for Will in that sense, right? I don't care what his sexual preference is, right? Although it is funny the way he described him getting murdered in there. I feel bad for that. But I don't care what his preference is. It's Will Smith. Will Smith was a freaking icon. You know what I mean? His catalog is ridiculous, right? He's an icon. And he's made great milestones within the industry. And to have somebody who hasn't accomplished half what he's accomplished just come out and just start airing out these allegations, whether they're true or not, for attention and to sell his book is ridiculous. And they were once friends. Will put the man in his book, man.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly friends, I guess.
Yeah, alleged, right? You know what I'm saying? Will shouted the man out, gave him a platform, put him in positions to make money. And this is how he repays them, because whatever disagreement they had, and he's pissed off.
Exactly. And like you said, I didn't even want to touch on this, to be honest, because this is like a little too messy for me as far as the whole tabloid gossip thing. But the lesson is here, because you're talking to a man who was allegedly Will Smith's friend for 40 years. Think about that. 40 years. And he comes out with this. I remember, just to contrast it with something. You remember Chadwick Boseman, right?
Yeah.
That played Black Panther.
Panther, yeah.
I remember, like, when he passed away, how surprised the media was that no one leaked the fact that he had cancer. How surprised they were that when he passed away, because if you remember that, people were like accusing him, like, with just questioning whether he was on drugs or all kinds of rumors. People just speculating what was going on with him, and what was contributing to his weight loss. The fact that we live in a time where the loyalty, what I'm saying, just the ability to keep your mouth shut for your homeboy, your friend, is the rarity. And what we're witnessing right here, a 40-year friendship, a 40-year-old friendship, like, it's, even if he did or didn't do it, if that's my guy for 40 years, that goes to the grave with me. And if it does come out, it's not through me. It's not through me. And
I don't
it's just,
know, man. Is that money? Is that money? He's
but
trying to get
exactly, and I'll even try to take the role of someone who has less character than I do, which is hard for me to. I try to empathize with somebody in a desperate situation. I'll even be like, "Hey, Will, man, they offered me X, Y, and Z. How you want to spend this? Is there any way we can get ahead of this or do something?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not going to air him out like that, So it makes me curious as to, is there something else that we don't know that will do him dirty somehow? Or if any of this is even true, if it's just a money grab, you know what I'm saying?
I blame Jada. Jada paid that man to do it. And look, she's been putting Will on blast for the last 5 years. It's part of her scheme to further kick Will in the head while he's down already. Jada did it. That's what I blame.
It seemed to be it, man. Everybody piling up on him right now. Like, and I didn't condone what he did with Chris Rock. I thought that was lame. But this man can't catch a break, whether true or not. It's just like the accusations and rumors are just coming out everywhere. And it's crazy. Like, as much as I don't sympathize for what he did to Chris Rock and how he handled that, I don't envy his position right now.
I do. I tell you what, I take his problems over my problems any day. I'm still stuck in my mama's basement. I'm trying to get out.
I feel you.
I gladly take it. Talk all you want to talk about me. Give me that $500 million. I'm straight. I'll go buy my way out those problems.
Then you put it like that, I see your point.
Hey, look, let's wrap up these 3 lessons. Lesson number 1. Lesson number 1. I'm getting old. You see the gray hair?
Friends wisely. Everybody ain't your friend. Some people are just loyal to their need for you.
100%. Lesson number 2.
We're going with I'm going to touch on the Joe Smith thing again.
Yep.
Choose your partner wisely. Your husband, wife. In most cases, this is going to be the biggest decision you make in your life. It can set you up for a great life, or it can set you up for a life of turmoil, baby mama drama, and everything that comes with it. Understand, especially in the United States of America, these family courts are not your friend. Getting married or getting involved, having a baby with the wrong woman or wrong man, it can set you up for a lifetime of trauma.
AKA, you can't turn the 403 into a house wife/husband. Lesson number 3.
Back to the Puff Daddy. Oh, I'm sorry, Diddy and Cassie. you can't escape your past. You know, that's assuming that what she's saying is true. You know, I'm sure this man probably thought like, oh well, you know, that was so long ago. You know, I ain't worried about that no more. When people fall out, or when people, you know, they go their separate ways for whatever reason, you know, that loyalty is not there. Those secrets, you know, things change. People are at the top and then they come down. People are at the bottom and they come up. And when positions change, people's feelings towards you change. You know, there might have been a time and point when she was scared to say something. But for whatever reason, something somewhere has changed. And now she's, you know, she's putting it out there. She may feel protected and confident enough to put it out there. But I'm sure there was a point when he was doing what he was doing, allegedly, that he wasn't thinking about her ever coming out or saying anything about this.
Right.
Because you got to be bold to pull that kind of stuff that she alleges that he did.
For a rich man, there is no such thing as statute of limitations. We're going to come back and get that bag one way or another.
It's a darn shame.
Hey, but look, I want to thank y'all for tuning in with us and watching the show. Again, shout out to the new subscribers. Welcome to the fam. We got some more great content coming your way. We're headed towards 5,000. Once we get to 5,000 subscribers, that's another milestone for us. And the way it's looking, the way you guys been showing love, we'll be there in about 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But on a serious note, once we hit 10, you know, we're going to do something special for the community and for the fam and try to get some of that love back. But it's been real. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. It's your boys.
I want to say one thing before we leave, man.
What up?
I noticed that we're getting a lot of love from Uganda. So
the motherland.
Habari.
Just joking. I learned
hello.
You done learned this Swahili word for y'all.
The Nashakuru Masada.
Okay.
If I said that right, it's thank you for the support. We truly appreciate it.
100%. Peace.
Peace.